it's Pam with 44 Marketplace and Creative Finishes by Pam, and we are back today. We missed yesterday because they were doing some demo in the house, and we're back today in our kitchen that we've been working on all week. We're going to kind of do a review of what we've done so far. The first day was about caulking and cleaning with our Dixie Belle White Lightning. And again, granular, 2 heaping tablespoons in a gallon of warm water, and then put it in a spray bottle, spray, 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 and wipe it away. Then we, the next day, we used our Dixie Belle drop cloth. This kitchen, I don't know if you guys have been watching, or if you remember, it was a very dark red brown, and we have 2 coats of the Dixie Belle drop cloth, and in some cases we have 3 coats, just depending on how it looked once we put it on. And like I said, I've never had to put 3 coats on just about anything, but this kitchen was super dark and we're going very light. So we did our 2 coats of our Dixie Belle drop cloth, and then yesterday, well, the day before yesterday, sorry, we did our gator hide. We used our sponge, we used our roller, and we used brushes. We also debuted our new Dixie Belle synthetic brushes. And I have to tell you, yesterday I was at 44 Marketplace all day, and I actually blended a piece of furniture using only the new Dixie Belle brushes. Typically I use Paint Pixie and some different things when I'm doing those, and I gotta tell you, love them even better than I did when I debuted them for you on Wednesday. I used them painting this kitchen on Tuesday afternoon after I received them, and yesterday I used them for blending. And I'm going to tell you, this one right here, I blended the top of my piece. Oops, sorry. This one right here, I blended the top of my piece with, and it really was amazeballs. I have to tell you, these brushes, you're going to want to keep an eye out at your local retailer because these brushes are really amazing. I mean, they are the bomb diggity, as Claire and I say. If you have questions about them, contact your local retailer, or you can contact me at 44marketplace.com. We've got 7 sizes right now. We've got oval medium and oval small. We have flat, small, medium, and large. We have a round large, and we have the mini. And the round small is supposed to come out at the end of the month or mid-September or something like that. But I'm going to tell you, you're going to love these. The bristles are amazing and they clean up so well, especially if you have the scrubby soap. Mine, I just rinse them in the sink and they're with the scrubby soap and they're cleaned up. So now today, if you wanted to paint your kitchen and not glaze, you're finished. We've cleaned them, we've painted, we've put on our gator hide, we put on 2 coats of gator hide, and you're finished. Now you might want to go back around because even the best of us, you may have a little spot that looks thin, you may have a spot that you've missed, you may have a run or something like that. If you do find a run, don't start scraping on it or anything. The best thing you can do if you do have a run or something is to take a 600 grain or higher sandpaper and sand lightly on that spot, and you'll get rid of that run, put a little bit more gator hide back over it, and you're good to go. Most of the time, it doesn't even take the paint off. Also, if you sprayed your cabinet doors and they feel a little prickly, you might want to take the finishing pad. I don't know how many of you guys have a finishing pad. You can get them from your local retailer. You can get them from Dixie Belle. We sell them at 44 Marketplace or online. These are great to smooth your finish. If you rub it after you put on your paint, you put on your gator hide, and you do this, it makes your finish buttery smooth. It does not scratch your finish, nothing. You'll love it. Keep in mind, you want to make sure and use your Mr. bottle when you're painting. And today we're glazing because this kitchen, they want it to be glazed. I actually have a door to show you to kind of give you an idea of what we're doing. This door has been painted and glazed. You can see they just want it in the crevices and around the edge. And now not all of my customers want glazing. Some people think the glazing makes it look dirty. Others think it makes it look custom. I just do whatever they ask me to do. Okay, questions?
Somebody asked earlier how much paint it took to do the kitchen.
It took a gallon of paint to do this kitchen. It is more than twice as much as I've ever used in a kitchen, but this kitchen is more than twice as big as your average kitchen. This kitchen had 86 drawers, and panels, whereas the average kitchen has maybe 40.
And an island.
And an island, yeah.
Refrigerator, custom refrigerator
panels. The dishwasher has panels. The trash can has panels. So this one is a very large kitchen. Okay, so now when you get ready to glaze, there's a couple of different ways you can do it. You can take a chip brush, which I've got here, and put on your glaze with that. Inexpensive, whatever. You can take one of the new Dixie Belle brushes when they come out. You can do that. A lot of people do it like this. A lot of people will just take like a round brush and do it. So I'm going to show you both ways. I actually, because I do it for a living, I have a brush called a point. It's very much like a Paint Pixie French tip, but it's a little more pointed, and I actually have a set of 4 of them. And when I glaze, I use these. And I use the lid of whatever I'm doing, and you'll notice I am using Dixie Belle Van Dyke Brown, but it wasn't the right color. And Dixie Belle products are so great. I just put a little bit of caviar in there, and I made my brown a little blacker brown. It's not quite as dark as our coffee bean, but I just took some of the caviar paint and mixed it in my glaze. And then what I do is I take my lid of my container, and I get it on my brush, and I use baby wipes to wipe away because we have painted and we have put our gator hat on. So now we have a nice slick surface to glaze. And we're going to go back and glaze these later, but for right now I'm going to show you because I think it'll be easier for you to see on the panels. So these are nice big panels that have been painted and they've got the gator hat on it. And what you're going to do is you're going to start in the top corner, and you're going to drag your brush down the length of it, okay? If you notice that your brush unloads too much or whatever, brush back over it, but kind of brush the length of it if you can, because if you stop in the middle, you'll have a little clump. So you want to brush the length of it, even if your brush unloads too much in one spot, and you can see it's fairly even. The reason I use the baby wipes is because they're already damp. And the first thing you want to do is get rid of where you got out of the lines, okay? It's kind of like an eraser. You just want to erase it, and especially down around the corner. So now you've got a nice crisp line there. The way you end up with your glaze where you want it to be, you're going to take your finger, you're going to wrap whatever you're using, a paper towel, a piece of cheesecloth, whatever you're using, you're going to wrap it around your finger so that it covers the tip of your finger but doesn't gap up. And you're going to drag your finger right down the edge of that so that your finger is like a bridge, okay? It wipes away the excess, but it leaves you a nice line. If it doesn't leave you a crisp enough line, you can go back down it again. Then you're going to take your finger and you're going to do the same thing again, and you're going to go right down the center of it, just like that. And you can feel the ridge. Once you get used to doing it, you'll be able to feel the ridge. And you just want your finger to ride right on that ridge. Now, if your finger goes one way or the other and you wipe the glaze off, don't stress about it. It's not anything precise. Glazing is supposed to be very organic. So you may have a little thick, you may have a little thin or whatever. I'm going to wipe some of this back so you can see what it's like. So let's say I wiped it back too much. I'm going to wipe out of this groove. All right, so now I've got good up here, but I don't have good down here. The best thing to do is just wipe the whole thing again. Just go right up through there, and now you've got it again. Again, do the same thing that you did before. Go get everything out of line. There you go. Now lay that finger on there and just, like I say, just drag it right down through there, drag it up or down, whichever way works best for you. There you go. Now you may want thin glaze, you may want thick glaze. It doesn't matter. It's totally up to you. This one we're going to put it on real thin and see what you think. And it's just about dragging the finger down through there, okay? So now we're going to wipe this down, and I'm going to show you what we're going to do again. Again, we've got our gator hide on here, so it wipes right off because we're just working with something that's already wet. Now I'm going to show you how we're going to do it with this. This is just a little artist brush that I picked up at Walmart or Hobby Lobby or one of the big box stores. Now,
So do you typically do one side and then dress it, or do the whole panel?
I usually do one side, but now occasionally when I'm doing smaller panels, I'll do the whole panel. But these are so big, I'm afraid if I work a panel, I'll get drying time. Because even though the glaze has a long open time, it's still a mineral-based product, so it dries faster than the average. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, we've got our nice little round, and we're just going to drag it down this middle crease, and you can feel it. Just drag it down through there. Now, it may unload too much, it may unload too little, and then you're going to start at the bottom and you're going to come back up. And I always keep, even if I don't wet my brush, I make sure and I keep everything damp in my lid that I'm using when I'm glazing. All right, so there is that line. And we're going to do a second line, because I know not everybody has pointy brushes like I do. So I'm going to show you the easy way to do it. Now you can take a chip brush and do this very same thing. It's just going to unload a lot more glaze than you really need. And it's just about working with the glaze. And like I say, it's not rocket science. Put it on as light or as dark as you want to. And now we've got the same thing, and we're just going to do exactly what we did before. Take your finger, create a bridge, and go right down the edge. You just want to leave that little bitty gap there. And it just forms a little bridge. And there you go. And we're going to do it again. And now see, there's a little bit down here that I want a little bit more out. So you just want to find a clean spot, because you don't want to wipe any more on there, and you just go back down through here very lightly. If you want more on, want to take it off, like you think, oh, that doesn't look good, wipe it back. So it's totally up to you as to how you want it. This one, I want to make sure that all of them are glazed exactly the same, but that's it. It's very simple. It's not very difficult, and typically glazing is not something that takes you a lot of time to do. Glazing is a very easy thing, and glazing is very subjective, because some people want a lot of glaze, and a lot of people think, oh, that looks a little dirty, you know? So it's just whatever you like. And you may want to do like I did. I mixed a custom glaze for this house because of the color of their granite. And because Dixie Belle products are so great together, it didn't take me but just a minute. I just threw some caviar into my brown glaze and boom, there it is. You know, I got all that I wanted, and it's not a problem. If I want to mix more glaze, just do the same thing. I just took a container I had at the house, and I mixed about 7 ounces of the Van Dyke brown glaze, and I probably put, I don't know, maybe a ½ an ounce or less of the caviar, and you want to make sure it's mixed up really well. Don't shake it, because you can get bubbles in it sometimes. You're better off if you just take like a little popsicle stick or something like that and stir it really well, because if you shake especially your gator hide before you apply it, you can really end up with some bubbles in your finish that you would think, oh, well, they'll pop. No, they won't. They're going to leave your finish, it'll have a little bit of texture to it. So always when you're dealing with paint products, especially top coat products, glazes and everything, stir, stir, stir. Don't shake, shake, shake. Now when you mix up your white lightning, shake, shake, shake. That's fine, because you're trying to dissolve the product. But don't do it on this and then use it. Because you will end up with, a lot of times you will end up with something that you don't want. You'll end up with bubbles. And I'll tell you, sometimes you want to leave a little bit more in the corners, because typically the glazing is supposed to look organic and it's supposed to give you that aged look. And in an aged look, a lot of times there's a little bit more whatever in the corners, whether, you know, it's dust or whatever. You're recreating an aged look, so that's what you want. And now on this kitchen, we'll do these insets, and we'll also do these little grooves on the corbels because you want everything to kind of have that feel. Now on the drawers in the island, since they don't have these same crevices, we'll probably just do a little bit of glaze on the raised panels so that everything ties in well together. Keep in mind, like we said yesterday, if you allow your gator hide to pool or you have runs or whatever, I had a couple, when I went back and looked, I wasn't careful enough. I had a couple and I just sanded them right away, and then I put more gator hide over that area where I sanded it, and it looks just like it was just painted because it was. A lot of people say this finish won't last, but I'm going to tell you, this finish has already started curing. You know, it takes 30 days to be fully cured, but it's already started curing, and this finish will be, you know, top notch. We had hoped to reinstall doors either today or tomorrow, but we may wait and do it Sunday. So we will put up pictures on the Dixie Belle page so that you guys can be reminded what the kitchen looked like before, because we brought you in after we had pulled the doors and drawers. But we will actually put pictures of the kitchen intact before and kitchens after we reinstall the doors.
What is that white pad called? The finishing pad?
Yes, the white pad is the finishing pad. And like this right here feels pretty smooth, but sometimes if you spray and you don't have optimal conditions, you'll end up, when you rub your hand across the finish, and I don't know what to call them except pricklies. And you can feel it's not...
Kind of pebbly?
Yeah, it's not perfectly smooth. But you take that finishing pad and run over it a few times and boom, shakalaka, you're done. You can feel it. Must be where I can't reach it.
What you looking for?
The finishing pad. But the finishing pad is kind of Brillo-y, is a good word that I can think of. And it is, there you go. And it's, you know, maybe a 1/2 inch thick. And it feels very scratchy, and you would think, oh, I don't want to put that on my finish, and you can see. It doesn't do anything but just get rid of any little micro pits or anything that are on there. I mean, if it's not buttery smooth when you get finished with this, then it wasn't a good finish to begin with. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. And somebody sent me a message yesterday, and what if you notice if you have brush strokes? Some people have issues with brush strokes. I know that I've had people send me that. I've been doing it so long, knock on wood, I can say that I typically don't have that problem, but you can sand between coats if you notice that you have brush strokes. I wouldn't sand with anything less than about a 320 grain, because if you sand with something that's not pretty fine, you could actually sand through the paint that you just put on. I mean, typically I don't have that issue. Every once in a while I'll have a little spot or a run or something, but usually when you're to this point, you're using a 600 grain or higher to fix any little blemishes, because sometimes when you're painting a kitchen like this, there were blemishes in the wood and stuff, and there's nothing you can do but paint over those at this point. But if you do notice a blemish in your finish, let's say you've got a run here or a run here or a run on the bottom of this, the best thing to do is just take a 600 grain, just take your finger and just sand on that one spot, and it'll go away in just a matter of seconds.
And after you finish glazing everything, you're going to put another coat of gator hide?
Absolutely. Once you finish glazing everything, you'll put one more coat of gator hide. Now, if it's your own kitchen and you choose not to, the glaze has a polymer built in it, so you don't have to gator hide back over it, but this is what we do, so we will be gator hiding again. Anybody have questions?
That was the last one about the gator hide.
Okay, guys. I feel like we have shown you how to do a kitchen from start to finish. Dixie Belle is going to keep these on their site, and I think they'll probably put them on YouTube. I also have videos on YouTube, and I would love to help you with anything that I can. So send me a message, and we'll answer any questions after this live is off. and I really appreciate you guys tuning in all week and seeing our kitchen transformation. Thanks for watching. See you later.